Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I mix kick and bass. So I'll show you in context of sustained bass line, because most of the time I make melodic house with really sustained bass line. So it'll be easy for me to demonstrate like how I mix my low end, I mean kick and bass. The first thing is the kick. My suggestion will be like choosing really good sample kick in context of like what you're looking for. Or like if you want sustained bass line, use really short kick. And if you are really into techno, you want the really thump, like a big kick, try to use minimal bass line, like some rolling bass line. And yeah, not overpower, like use a bass line which is not overpowering the kick if you have really long kick, heavy kick. So I have nothing done with my kick. As you can see, it's a kick from a sample pack, which is really deep and thump, has a thump in it. So the bass line sounds so it's very simple MIDI, G, E, A, F. And what I would like to suggest is, if you are consider using a different layer, and if you want your sub to be like not too heavy, too low, or too high, I suggest using from D, a D sharp, to C sharp or C, like this range. So your bass line doesn't go so weak and not too low. So just for example, if my bass lies from like C sharp, it's too low, and if it's from like C sharp here, it's lacking a little bit like a sub. So try to fit between this C to D within a scale. So in this way you have like really power of the sub, and you can hear some low mid frequency as well. So once you have like really like foundation, like really good sound design, like I have here, really like a short decay with long sustain, and it's opening filter with a little bit of lag. So once you have really good sound design for the bass line, I start with minor like a EQ. As you can see, I roll off a little bit of this area from below the 20 Hz, because I know it's you won't hear in really like a, even though if it's really good speaker, you won't hear more than 20 Hz like below. So it's just adding more, it's taking over your headroom. So it's, and I don't like this mid area because I listen to it. So it's always EQ in context. Like if you find something resonant frequency or some boomy character, so those range, you can just slightly do some minor EQ and cut off. And always the sidechain, everyone talks about the sidechain, so that's the must go to thing to fit the kick and bass in the same frequency range, because they lie in the same range. So I have three ways of doing sidechain. The first thing is just a classic compressor, doing sidechaining with kick. So I like to use my like a sidechain compressor like a limiter. So full ratio, like infinity to 1, and I like my attack to be 10 to 15 milliseconds, so I want like very fast reactor or like a reaction from my sidechain, because I want my kick transient to be heard as well. So, and the release, I start with 20 and I slowly tweak, like if it sounds really good, and I'll keep that way. I don't like to use less than 20 milliseconds. And I like to look ahead to 1 millisecond, so it's triggering before the kick starts, like 1 millisecond earlier. So that's it for the kick one. So next sidechain thing is like a volume docking plugin, like a kick start, and I sidechained with kick, so I can. By the way, this plugin is just $15 US. You can just grab. This is where you go to. Like, I always use it. So you can see the waveform of my kick, and you can just adjust. You like more pumping, or you like subtle. I like this one. And there is EQ as well. You can, if you just want to dock below 320 Hz, this is a good start. It's just docking below the 320. And the other one is a sidechain made same like a volume docking, like a plugin like Kickstart, but made from Ableton factory preset, like a factory plugins, which is volume shaper and utility. What it's doing is it's mapped to the gain of utility, and there's LFO, like you can see the rate. Every fourth note, like 1/4, it's docking the volume. So it's basically like a Kickstart. And the audio effect. So I have like 3 chain. The dry, nothing complicated, just a low pass EQ, and I know this area. I want this area to be a little bit wider. So I have like a chorus kind of effect, which is a harsh effect. So what is harsh effect? It's a simple like delay within a millisecond from left to right. So it sounds, the sounds coming, it feels like the sounds going super quick from left to right, like insane. So it sounds very wide. And if you don't know how to make this one, it's very easy. Just go to delay and turn off the sync and change to time, feedback to 0, and the left time will be 1 millisecond and right time is from between 7 to 10. That's the sweet spot. So now just listen to this one. I just a little bit widening my mid area. And hyper reverb. So before I put reverb, I have pull off the low end because I don't want my reverb to affect in my lower frequency. So it's really short decay, like a room reverb. So altogether, just a dry, just sounds so in the middle. But with wider sounds with chorus. And compressor just to compensate the gain and like make it even with the volume, you know, so it's not too like not too more, I mean it's not more dynamic. And right in the end I have like mid-side EQ. So after having those wide effects, I have really low frequency and somehow like below 100 Hz as well, as you can see. So I roll off this area, so I have a really clean mono sound in from like 120 Hz below, and a little bit of boost here to sound more even wider off the sides. And I have a utility plugin, and you can see like a phase invert here. So why I do this is it flips the the phase, you know, the wave, like the phase of. So if it sounds good with this on, I'll keep it that way. If it doesn't sound good, I'll leave it. So, and once you have your kick and bass, and I like to group them and add a glue compressor and very slow attack and release to automatic ratio 4:1, and try to get like almost 1 dB gain reduction. It sounds like it's gluing up like kick and bass. And drum bass just to add a little bit drive, but like only 15%, and also compensate the gain as well. And once you have that, my low, like kick and bass, I mean low end is pretty much okay, like sounds okay to move forward to next other like instruments to add on. And before I tell you, like I don't know if I have, okay, I'll tell you again. So my rule of thumb, like how I start, is to kick is like -6 dB, and my bass like -9 dB. So -3 dB difference between kick and bass. That's the good start point. It's not like it has to be like this, but it works for me, and I tweak a little bit changes later in production like stage, you know. But that's a good start point too. That's it for today, guys. If you want to check out my sample pack, it has a link down below, and if you want to try the demo version, it also has a link down below. Please do like and consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.